Thank you, Donald, and welcome, of course, and particularly those from far afield. But if I could like to start by saying, call yourself journalists. For goodness sake. I've been in this hotel, this new wonderful Grand Central Hotel, the only hotel in Europe where you don't have to ask for an alarm call, you just wait for the 7 o'clock train to Edinburgh to be announced on the platform. I've been in this hotel for 20 minutes, and I've been shown by Laurie Nichol a photograph taken by the Clerk of Works in the ballroom of this very hotel of what is quite clearly a ghostly apparition of a young lady, a tartan shawl and a baby in hand in this very hotel. Now, I mean, look guys, and girls and all the rest of the editors, all. I mean, I know it's a wee while since you've been in the coal face of journalism and now in your elevated positions in the boardrooms or nearly in the boardrooms. But I mean, come on, that photo is there, available on Laurie Nichol for a reasonable price. And she asked me how should she, go about auctioning it, and I said, well, just let me drop it into the conversation and the rest will take care of itself. I do promise you, this is an incredible photo. It makes all these ones with the Loch Ness Monster look like absolutely nothing in comparison. So here you are in one of Scotland's officially haunted hotels for your conference, and you are, of course, very, very welcome indeed. This is indeed a distinguished society. I understand it was the Society of Editors who brokered the deal between the MOD and the media that embargoed coverage of Prince Harry's deployment to Afghanistan in 2007, and despite the fact that more than 2,000 editors knew about this, the secret was kept for 3 months when government ministers and even major generals had not been told. Which all goes to show, if you want to keep a secret, tell 2,000 journalists, and if you want to have a secret out, then tell 2 government ministers. But it's so fantastic. And of course, the Society recently provided a platform which Donald referred to and persuaded the head of MI6 to give his first public speech live on television, making history and headlines around the world. And I mean, it's quite totally amazing. I was just thinking as the students invaded next door in Millbank the other day, how convenient it would be for MI6 to be able to take the photographs of all the ringleaders without going too far. But nonetheless, it just shows you what this society is able to do in terms of making a stir. I'm delighted to welcome you, of course. Now, as you'll understand, as First Minister of Scotland, I am absolutely convinced that the only place for authentic news in this country is the Saltire website. That is the official website of the Scottish Government. And I read that every single day and I say that's exactly how things are. Just the version of the truth that I would like to see out. But I also know that Thomas Jefferson once wrote, quote, "Were it left to me to decide whether we should have a government without newspapers or newspapers without a government, I should not hesitate a moment to prefer the latter." Incidentally, that's a quote I've always believed in when I was in opposition. But almost all the time, I recognise that one of Scotland, one of the United Kingdom, one of the free world's greatest asset is a diverse and vigorous printed press. And just as Scotland has given much to the printed press has given so much to Scotland. I want to offer you one more little bit of history, which might offer you something of an inspiration for this conference, a conference entitled "Have We Got Good News for You?" I was once on, in fact, I was on "Have I Got News for You?" several times. I was once asked on "Have I Got News for You?" if I'd taken cannabis when I was at university. It was one of these blood run cold type moments. I told them I hadn't exhaled. But have we got good news for you? Well, in this building, there surely is the inspiration to show how challenges can be overcome, because it was in this very hotel on Tuesday, the 24th of May 1927, that a gentleman called John Logie Baird for the first time succeeded in transmitting television pictures. Of course, there were those at the time who considered that the advent of television, the advent of pictures and things that were moving and talking would undoubtedly sweep away the printed word and you for the delivery of news and opinion. It was wrong then, I suspect, as you rise to challenges of the the internet and other available means of news transmission, then you'll also rise to that challenge as well. And whereas I know that over the next few days you'll be considering these matters in great detail, but as Bob Satchell put it to me as I came in this evening, he said that the idea of the demise of the written word in newspapers was total bollocks. And I'm really impressed, Bob, that you haven't lost that in your elevated position, that art for crystallising and distilling the erudite opinions into a single phrase, which would make a fantastic headline. So in the atmosphere of overcoming rival technical challenges, and in the knowledge that it's total bollocks to consider the demise of the written word, then let me wish you every success in your proceedings over the next 2 or 3 days. Obviously, I would like to welcome in particular Alexander Lebedev to the conference and thank him for agreeing to be your lead speaker at this year's conference. In fact, of course, Mr. Lebedev's career illustrates some of the challenges I've highlighted. Last year, of course, he bought famously the London Evening Standard for the princely sum of £1. And quite clearly this year his negotiating skills had improved extraordinarily, because he bought not one but 2 newspapers for £1, The Independent and The Independent on Sunday. So the fact that such prestigious titles were required for such an extraordinary sum illustrates perhaps how difficult it can be to turn a profit in the newspaper trade these days, but equally the fact that it was done illustrates the confidence of how challenges can be faced and overcome, and look forward to a successful conclusion. So I wish you well in your deliberations over the next few days, and I look forward in particular now from hearing from that distinguished economist, politician, businessman and newspaper proprietor, Alexander Lebedev, offering his views on how the industry can prosper in today's challenging climate. Welcome to Scotland, ladies and gentlemen.